This course is presented by TTJ Tech Services and Stir It Up Studios.
And now, to the glory of God and the benefit of listeners everywhere, it's iPad for all computing.
All right, recording set, and welcome, folks. Once again, welcome to iPad for All Computing. And we are on session 18. Hard to believe we're already there, but we got a great crowd, praise God. So, Father, once again, in the name of Jesus, we come to you, Lord, because where else would we go? You are the source of everything good in our lives, and we're so blessed because of you. We pray a special blessing upon every listener, every attendee, every family, all their family and their household, just as you bless me, my family, and our household so abundantly, Lord. And may this class be meaningful and helpful and relevant and be a blessing to all those in attendance. Lord, in Jesus' name, amen and amen. Well, praise God. And once again, welcome to iPad for All Computing. Just a quick reminder, we have two classes this week. We have class today and we have class Wednesday. And tomorrow, if you need extra help, you can come to our Tuesdays with TTJ link. We will be having a help session, and the next 3 weeks we'll be having Tuesday help sessions, and then we will resume having 3 iPad classes per week starting with the end of April. Also, a reminder, we do have 2 events in the evenings tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time and next Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. For those who are interested, we did send out an email newsletter about that. Basically, tonight's presentation is about the Titanic, and next week is about the space race, and particular emphasis on the Artemis 2 moon mission that's actually going on right now as we speak. They're about to fly by the moon today. So we're excited. We hope to see all of you there. And praise God, we got a packed agenda today. I'm excited to have my mom with us. Kathy Volbrecht is going to assist us a little bit later on here in the session. We're continuing our discussion of pages today. And so let's get right on into it. I'm going to return to the Pages app. I've already got the original sound enabled. And we'll get back into Pages, and then we'll start to show you some things. All right, turn my speech on.
Speech on. YouTube.
And we'll get in.
Maps. Home. Page 2 of 6. Apple Store. Pages.
Into Pages.
Video. Double tap to toggle controls. An orange rectangle against a white.
Of course, we hear the picture-in-picture window there.
Pages. Tax info. Space 26.
All right, so I'm in my document manager once again. We have several things we want to show you today, and as I said, my mom will be assisting just a little bit later on here. Before we get into that, I had a request to show you how to use bulleted lists or lists of various types, and I want to just reiterate that because we did briefly mention it, but it was so quick that it easily could have gotten lost in the shuffle. And so since I did have a request for it, I thought I'd go ahead and show you again where the bulleted lists are in case you want to use those. I will probably open an existing document here at this present moment rather than creating a new one. Let's see what we have here.
Map Titan. Pages iPad test 26. Pages file. 4/1/2.
Well, that sounds like a good a document as any. I think we used that one in class last week. Pages iPad test.
Pages iPad test. Toggle sidebar. Body. Text field. Is editing. New line. Character mode.
And we're already on a new line. We're editing, and this is the test document that we created together. Let's just see what else is here. I am using the keyboard, the magic keyboard, so I'll be using the arrow keys.
Keyboard hidden. Cap T. H. Back button.
I'm not sure why it said keyboard hidden, but we'll double tap on the edit field again.
Canvas. Body. Video. Body. Empty line. Insertion point at end. New line.
Now the keyboard's there.
Video. Cap T H. Start of text. New line. Canvas. A small dog lying on a bed with a young girl petting it.
Okay, and we had that image that we created. Now, just because the picture-in-picture window is here and so forth, I'm going to get rid of that photo just so there's not more complication. When we get into the text box demonstration here in about a half hour, I'm going to switch iPads so that I don't have the same iPad with the Zoom call, because as we discussed before, for those of you who might not have heard this, when you're on Zoom, it puts the Zoom app in a little picture-in-picture window, and that really can get in the way of things that we're trying to do with VoiceOver. We can do them, but it definitely adds a layer of complexity that I don't want you all to have to hear and deal with. So when we get into I needed to charge my other iPad a little bit, and it'll be ready here shortly, and I'm going to switch to using that one for the demos. Right now, though, we'll make do with this, and that's fine.
Body. A small dog.
I'm going to go ahead and delete this image because it'll just take away one layer of complexity. We don't need the image anymore. In order to do that, I'm going to double tap on this image to select it.
Selected. A small dog lying on a bed with...
Now I'm going to turn my rotor. You can't just use the delete key to delete an object like an image, but you can turn your rotor to edit.
More content. Bookmarks. Highlights. Comments. Misspelled links. Document headings. Edit.
And there's edit. And we're just going to swipe up or down until we hear delete.
Remove background. Add to play copy. Select comment. Link. Generate cut. Select all format. Delete.
Now I went the long way. I swiped down with one finger. Let's just go back to activate.
Remove. Add to play copy. Add. Remove. Delete.
Well, actually,
Add cop. Comment.
yes, we don't even have activate.
Select cop. Add to remove.
Remove background was going to be the first thing.
Delete.
There's delete. Just double tap.
Deleted image.
Okay.
Body. Test for class. Body.
What that did is it deleted the image and left the rest of the document intact. It's perfectly fine to work with images in your document. In fact, we're going to do that a little bit later. But I wanted to remove this one that we had put in, again, just to reiterate, only because I'm trying to simplify things a little bit, and we already have extra complexity due to that pip window up at the top of the screen. Let's just go ahead and
Canvas. Body. Insertion point at end.
get into this again. I've double tapped.
End of text.
And I'm going to put a couple blank lines.
New line.
Now we're talking about bulleted lists. So let's just say we're going to describe to our viewers and listeners what they're going to learn in today's class. So I will type what we will learn today.
Colon.
Put a
Today.
colon, and I'm going to put 2 returns.
New line.
We can go back up with the up arrow to verify that that's okay.
What we will learn today.
Now, if I were really creating this document for professional use, I would absolutely format this text here, what we will learn today. I would make it a heading, or I'd at the very least bold it, maybe italicize it. But I've already shown that to you last week a couple of times. And so for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that right now. We're going to just leave it as it is, and we're going to go ahead and press the down arrow.
New line.
And I'll also press the right arrow just to make sure we're as far to the right as we can go. All right. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to instruct the document that we want to create a bulleted list. And so in order to do that, what we have to do is we have to go back to Format. So we'll swipe left.
More. Share. Undo. Format. Button.
And we will double tap on Format.
Text. Heading.
You remember this.
Button.
We've done all this before, but we're going to go past all of these text and font settings. We're going to keep swiping to the right.
Up. More. Size. 11 points.
We've dealt with that. Color.
Text color. Selected. Align left.
Our alignment, we've even dealt with that. We showed you how to center some things. We're going to keep going.
Align. Bullets and lists. None. Button.
And there's the button that we want. It is right after
Align justified. Button.
the Align Justified button. And it's called Bullets and Lists, and it says None. So we're going to double tap on this.
Bullets and lists. None. Selected. None. Button.
Now I'm going to just create a bulleted list. We can also do numbered lists.
More info. Button. Bullet. Button.
That's the one I want. Let's look at the other options. Swipe to the right.
Bullet big. Button.
Bullet big.
More in image. Button. More in lettered. More numbered.
So you can do lettered lists, numbered lists. We're going to just go back to the regular bullets.
More image. Bullet. Button.
And I'll double tap.
Selected. Bullet. Button.
All right, it says it's selected.
Selected. Bullet. Button.
So we have a couple of choices as to how to get out of this menu. I'm going to choose the scrub method.
Text. Back.
There we go.
Bullet. Button. Body. Button.
It appears that
Font. Helvetica Neue.
we're still in another layer. So what we'll do is scrub again.
Font. Helvetica. Heading.
And
Text field is editing. Test for class.
we're ready to type what we're going to learn today. And so our first thing is we'll type list creation.
Cap L. Space. List. N.
And I'll press the return key.
Bullet. New list item.
Now, did you hear what it said? It said bullet, new list item. Because absolutely that's what happened. We enabled bulleted lists. And so because we did that, every time we press the return key now, it's going to automatically create another bullet for us. So here's our second bullet, and we will call this, what else are we going to learn today? We're going to say how to work with text boxes.
Cap
Oops.
E X S.
And I'll press return,
New line.
and we'll do one more. And it didn't say it that time, but it's there. We'll just say working with objects.
S.
Now, because I don't want any more bullets, I'm going to press 2 returns, because that's the quickest way to tell pages that we want to go back to a regular style of writing.
Body. Exited list.
And see, it told us body exited list. Now, if I press the up arrow,
List item bullet. Working with objects. Entered list. List item bullet. How to work with text boxes. List item bullet. List creation.
so you can hear that everything we just typed is bulleted. If we go above it, it's going to exit the list.
New line. Exited list.
And again,
What we will learn today.
we typed that just a little bit ago, remember? So again, if I press the down arrow,
New line. List item bullet. List creation. Entered list.
there it is. There's our first one.
List item bullet. How to work with text boxes.
And one more.
List item bullet. Working with objects.
And then again.
Working with objects. Exited list.
And that's it. That's the very last one that there was, and now we're out of the list. Anything we type from this point on will be regular text unless we choose to change it. So that was just a quick overview of how to create lists, because as I said, we did have a request for that, so I wanted to make sure I went back and covered that in more detail. Again, when you are finished with... Oh, and I do want to say this. Had you stayed in that menu where we enabled the bullets, there was another option in there to the right that said outdent, and one to the right of that that said indent. And the purpose of that is to create a sublist, or some people call it a nested list. In other words, a list within a list. So let's say, for example, this item that says working with objects. Maybe I have a sublist underneath that. What aspects of working with objects am I going to teach you? Well, I'm going to teach you how to insert an object. I'm going to teach you how to move an object. I'm going to teach you how to remove an object. All of these things are not main list items, they're sublist items under the category of working with objects. So we could have indented to go even further in to create a second list, and then we could outdent to get back to the original list. I'm not sure. You might actually be able to press the tab key when you are in the middle of creating a list, and it will automatically create a sublist for you. But I do know you can go into that menu and you can hit the indent button. And there are different styles. You know, you can do letters. You can, again, all of those different choices. So you can play with that on your own time. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of how that's done and where the options are for it. The next thing I want to go back over is just a quick review of some of the things when you've put the finishing touches on your document. What else is there that you need to do? And of course, remember, we don't need to save. I want to reiterate that again, because we had a couple questions about, well, one question about that, and want to make sure everybody's very, very clear on the fact that Pages automatically saves your documents for you. We have explored that, we've talked about it, but I really want to go back over it again. So you do not need to save. There's definitely no save as. That's not even a term that Apple users deal with. If they do need to have a second copy of the document with a different name, remember you use the duplicate option. and then you rename the second copy. So it eliminates that confusion that so many people have about, well, when do I save and when do I save as? In Apple, there's really no such thing. The rename option, as you remember from our initial demo last week, was that it is in the Actions menu. So you're going to go to the very top of the Pages app with a 4-finger single tap near the top of the screen. I'm not going to do it that way, because if I do, it's going to put me in that picture-in-picture window. So instead, I'm going to just swipe left until I get there, even though that sounds a little bit more lengthy. It's actually going to be an easier option, probably.
Super Resolution Table of Pages iPad Test 26 Actions menu button.
And that's the button you're looking for. If you had done the 4-finger single tap, it would take you
View option back button.
right there to the back button, and then you would just swipe to the right.
View options button.
View options, and one more time.
At menu
Whoop.
file.
Okay, and
Window
what it did.
Control pick pages. View option Pages iPad Test 26 Actions menu.
Puts us
button.
right on that Actions menu button. That's where we rename the document. So if you do want to, when you create a new document, it's always a good idea to rename it right away. We demonstrated that last week, but again, I just wanted to review it. Today I'm going to demonstrate how you share a document collaboratively, because I'm going to collaborate with my mom in just a few minutes on a document that we create. So you'll get to see how we collaborate, and that's such an important thing. You can work in real time, remember, with another person or multiple people. We're going to actually demonstrate that. What if you just want to export this and you want to turn it into a PDF or even a Word document or something like that? Well, that's also going to be under this Actions button.
Pages iPad Test 26 Actions menu.
See,
button.
it says the name of the document, and then it says Actions menu. So if we double tap on this,
Monday Pages iPad Test Share button.
we swipe right, we see that Share is one of the options. We'll get to that a little bit later.
Pages document option Rename button.
We saw Rename,
Move button. Export button.
and there's
Collapse.
Export. The other one I want to show
Double
you,
tap to it.
go to the right.
Print button.
You can also print this document. We've not talked extensively about printing. We will touch on it a little bit later again, but just remember that if you have a compatible printer, which is pretty much any modern printer now that you would go out and buy at Best Buy or Walmart or Target or, you know, what have you, your printer is going to be compatible. They pretty much all support the AirPrint standard, as it's called, as long as they have Wi-Fi in them. And again, almost any printer you'll look at. I mean, you can buy a printer for probably $70 that has Wi-Fi in it. All the major brands, Canon, HP, Brother, Epson, you know, all of the major brands. And these Wi-Fi printers, once they're set up, will automatically be seen and recognized by your iPad. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to install any drivers or anything like that. And I happen to be sitting right beside my printer right now because I'm at my desk here. If you heard that sound, that was the sound of me turning the printer on. It's going to take it just a minute or two to sort of calibrate and do what it needs to do. And I'll go ahead and hit the print button.
Tab, print button. Page 1 of 1. Double tap to modify selection.
Okay, let's look at
Double
this.
tap and hold for more options.
Let's look at the screen here.
Page close button.
There's a close button. Go to the right.
Options, heading, share, print, dimmed button.
Okay, there's a share button. The print button is grayed out right now, probably because we need to select a printer.
Printer, no printer selected.
So
button.
we will double tap.
Canon TS9500.
And notice it already shows my printer right there.
Known printers, heading, Canon TS9500 series.
Just going to double tap that.
Printer, Canon TS9500 series, page 1 of 1.
Now,
Double tap to modify selection. Double tap
Okay.
and hold for more options.
if we
Black and
if
red
we
text
swipe
on
to the
white
right
background.
here,
Test for class.
let's see.
Close. Options. Share. Print. Button. Printer. Canon T. Presets. None. Button.
Okay, there are no presets right now.
Copies. Button.
So I'm not going to go too extensively into this for the sake of time, but copies, if you want to change the number of copies, you know, you make 5 copies of this document.
1. text field.
Right now it's on 1.
Double tap decrement button, increment button.
Decrement, increment, so you can decrease or increase the number of copies that you make.
Print in color, switched button, on.
Okay, we're going to let that on. I don't think I have. Well, I do have maybe some color in this document because I think we changed the color of our font in the title of the document, so there actually is color.
Double-sided.
Okay, double-sided.
On button.
It's on right now. What that means is if I had more than one page, instead of using, let's say I have 4 pages in my document, instead of it printing 4 sheets of paper, it's going to print the first sheet and it's going to pull it back in and flip it over basically and print on the other side. This may or may not be your desired result, and if it's not what you want, you just double tap here to turn it off. Where it says on, you turn it off. It doesn't matter because it's only a 1-page document right now. And by the way, not all printers will support that. Okay, that's a feature that this printer happens to support, praise God, but you may not have a printer that does support that, so that may not even be there. The settings here are specific to your printer usually.
Paper size, US letter, button.
And that's what we want to leave it on. The default paper size here. If we wanted to change it, if we're printing a large poster or something, again, whatever your printer supports, or a smaller document, maybe an envelope or something.
Media in quality, auto select feed bullet, auto select media type bullet, normal quality.
All right,
button.
not going to mess with any of that. This printer has 2 paper trays and supports a variety of paper quality and also of image qualities and print qualities. So we can really get into that and customize that, but we're not going to right now. So let's just, I'm just showing you that all of these options are available and more probably if we keep swiping. But for the sake of time, we're just going to go back to print. Swipe left.
Copy, priest, printer, print, button.
Double tap.
Body, text field, is editing, test for class. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
And that was the document that we typed, and we should be printing here any moment. And what we also, and you can hear it printing maybe. And there we go. Praise the Lord, that paper's printed, and it's right there. And I can grab that, and I've got my document printed. While it is printing, and I can't show you this because it's so quick, but while it's printing, if you were to have gone to the app switcher, there's a new thing to the right of your current app, the rightmost app in the app switcher called Print Center. And that appears only when the printer is actually printing something. And it's there if you have any issues. Let's say you would have low ink. You go to print and you're out of paper, or, one of these types of things. The Print Center allows you to see the status and to even cancel the print job if in fact you decide, well, I need to, I got to go buy more ink. I can't print until I do that, so I'm going to just cancel the job for now and I'll print it later once I get my ink, or whatever the case may be. So in order for you to do that, you have to use your app switcher gesture and go into the app switcher and go into Print Center. And there you can modify the current print job, you can cancel the task, you can do whatever, or just check the status. As I said, I didn't really even have it just did it so quick, which is the norm. If everything's working properly, it's not going to even take you into the Print Center will just disappear as quickly as it appeared, because it's going to print your document and then that'll be the end of it. So I wanted to show you the print feature. I also want to go back to that view, that actions menu again to show you the export options that we have.
More. Supervis generate table of pages iPad test 26 actions menu.
There it is.
Button.
We're gonna
Image
go to
pages
export
iPad
this time.
Document rename move export button collapsed.
Notice
Double tap to expand.
it is collapsed. There are options underneath that if we double tap it.
Export collapsed PDF button Word button EPUB button plain text button RTF button images button pages template button publish to Apple Books button tab
Okay,
publish to Apple
and I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that. And let's talk about that. So most of those are, I think, pretty self-explanatory. PDF, Microsoft Word, it just said Word. RTF, plain text, you can save a document and export it to a Pages template for later use. The one that I wanted to talk about, there's 2 there. EPUB, it said EPUB, but it's EPUB, and then publish to Apple Books. Both of those options are related to digital book creation specifically. Publish to Apple Books creates an EPUB, but it also takes things to the next level, and it kind of walks you through a sort of self-assessment to make sure you're ready to publish. And I think it'll even give you the option to go directly to the Apple Books publishing portal, which is a web interface that will allow you to upload your book to Apple Books if you want to sell or distribute your digital book on the Apple Bookstore. The option that just says EPUB, it's just going to generate an EPUB, and you use that for testing purposes along the way as you create your book, because when you generate an EPUB, it will allow you to open it in Apple Books and test it to make sure that it works. If you decide that you're going to create a digital book, there are a lot of things to keep in mind that we're just not going to have time to go through. I think it's probably a more advanced thing than, what we're all necessarily going to do in one day here, right? But just to give you a heads up, there's documentation that Apple provides to help you to know how to create your book, how to turn your Pages document into a proper digital book. One of the most important things they'll have you do is to use the heading paragraph style. And we talked about paragraph styles last week, and we talked about paragraph styles even before that in notes. So you should be familiar with paragraph styles. The heading paragraph style is what is used to denote a chapter. So if you have a book that has 10 chapters, every time you have a new chapter, chapter 1, chapter 2, or maybe you've named your chapters, it doesn't matter, you're going to put that text, the chapter name or the chapter number, whatever, in the heading style. And if you have subsections of a chapter, you make them like a heading 2 style, for example. And what this does is it allows the Pages app and the Apple Books app to automatically render a proper table of contents for a digital book. If I'm writing a print book that I want to distribute through physical, soft cover book, hardcover, whatever, then I have to use the options that we talked about last week. There's a table of contents button up here. Remember this? Listen.
Keyboard button.
Not there. Hold on. Let me.
Pages active. Back.
Okay.
View up. Pages iPad test. Table of contents button.
Remember that button? Now that button will allow you to see the automatic table of contents, and it will also allow you to create a physical table of contents. In other words, a written table of contents that will display in the document. And you would use that for a physical book or for any other kind of document that needs a physical table of contents, so that if you print it out, you give it to someone, they can actually look at it on paper or in a physical book, and they can say, okay, chapter 3 is on page 27, so I'm going to now flip to page 27. But if all you're doing is a digital document or a digital book, you don't need to insert an actual written table of contents. Now, some people still do. You'll find some books on the Apple Bookstore actually do have a written table of contents as well. But really and truly, you don't need it for a digital book, because using the heading paragraph style will automatically generate the table of contents. And the most important thing is it's going to be correct, because the thing is, when you have a digital book, it will resize to whatever device you're working on at the time. So if I'm reading a book on my iPad here, and then I open that same book up on my iPhone, the page numbers are going to be different because the screen size is different. So whatever might be page 8 on my iPad, that might be like page 35 on my phone, because of the fact that there's much smaller screen real estate. Now, there is a type of book called a fixed layout book, where the page size, where the screen size does not affect the page numbers. But that's a much more complex type of book to create. Excuse me. And it really is not ideal for regular books. It would be ideal for maybe a graphic novel, a picture book, a recipe book, a magazine, something where the layout is the most important focus. If you're just writing a novel or a children's book, something short, even if it has some pictures or some video or audio, you can do it in the reflowable form, and that will allow the page numbers to change. And so you're going to want that automatically generated table of contents. So these kinds of things are what you will find in Apple's documentation about how to create digital books. And so if that's something that you're interested in, of course, we offer that assistance with that in our one-on-one training, and we certainly can provide more information about it in other ways as well. But I did just want to point out that those options are in that export menu, along with all the common ones: Word, PDF, RTF, plain text, and what have you. All right, so we've looked at printing, we've looked at exporting, we've looked at the idea of how to create bulleted lists, and this combined with everything that we've done last week, I think should give you a pretty good idea of the basics of Pages. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take things to the next level, and I'm going to be momentarily switching iPads here so I don't have to deal with the picture-in-picture window, as I said, and so forth. And I'm going to show you today how to use templates in your document. We have so far only used the blank template. That means we've created a basic blank portrait document, and it's a word processing document. Remember, we discussed word processing versus page layout? We've created a basic word processing document so far. Now we're going to show you templates. And the templates that we're going to show you, first of all, I'm going to show you one that actually is a word processing template, but it's going to have placeholder text in it so that I can quickly see where things should get inserted. The second thing I'm going to show you is a page layout document, which is going to make use of text boxes. When we get to that, I will remind you a little bit more. But if you'll recall, we talked a bit about text boxes last week. And we said that a page layout document differs from a word processing document in several ways. And I'm going to talk about the most important way right now. I shared this last week, but I think it bears reviewing and repeating. So, word processing, page layout, two different kinds of documents. The word processing document is ideal for documents that are mostly about the text. A letter that you're going to write, a report, a resume, just basic documents. As I said to you last week, you can still insert photos, and you can still insert audio, and you can still insert, tables and different things into your letter or your report or your, basic word processing document. But the primary focus is definitely the text. In a word processing document, there is a document body where everything is written. There can also be a header and a footer. Remember, I showed you last week how to insert page numbers into the footer. But for the most part, you work in the document body. That's the main area where all of your text goes. And it automatically just keeps flowing, right? If I write enough text, if I had continued writing in this test document, eventually it just would have created a page 2. And I could, write 175 pages or whatever I want. And it's just going to keep adding new pages wherever they need to be added. Wherever I place the insertion point on the screen, I start typing. That's where text is going to go. The other kind of document, then, is the page layout document. And the page layout document, you'll remember, is ideal in situations where the layout of the document, the visual look of the document, is of equal importance as the text. I can't say it's of greater importance because you need the text, but it's at least as important as the text. So what I mean by that is, an example of that would be a poster, a flyer, a brochure, maybe a restaurant menu. These types of things where you are going to have a number of elements to that document, various images. You might have a line in the document. You might have, and then the text and the photos need to be precisely placed in exact locations in that poster. I'm actually going to show you how to create a flyer today using a template. It'll be a pretty simple one, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Everything in a page layout document, there is no document body. Instead, it's a completely blank canvas, And everything that happens in that page layout document becomes an object. So a text box is an object, and when you want to type text, it has to be in a text box. And so you can place a text box on the screen, you can place photos on the screen, and then you can say, well, I don't like the text in that spot. I need to move it up a little. I need to move it up 3 inches. It needs to be just 3 inches higher in this poster or this brochure or whatever it is. And so instead of having to rewrite everything and move the images around and stuff, you can literally just drag that text box up a few inches and it will be right where you want it. Move it to the left, move it to the right, move it down, whatever you want to do, it is all contained in that text box. And I might have one text box that has the title of the brochure. I might have another one that has, whatever, or flyer. In our case, we're going to do a flyer, and I'll do an event title. All of this is in a text box or multiple text boxes. And so each box is an object, and every photo that I would insert is an object, and everything else that I might insert, whatever it may be, is an object. And then all of those objects can be moved, can be resized, and can be edited. But this is not your everyday document. This is a page layout document, and so we're going to work with both today. We're going to show you our first template that we'll use is going to be very, very basic. Because it's going to be a letter. And the letter template that I will use today is a word processing type of document. And so it has a document body. The benefit to using the template, you say, well, if it's just a word processing document, why not just write the letter yourself? Well, the last time I learned how to write a proper letter was probably in the 4th or 5th grade. So I might not remember where the inside address goes, where, things go. And so this template already has it formatted for me. So I don't have to do any of that. It's just going to automatically do it for me. Now there's going to be a little potential noise here while I move things around and I grab my other iPad because, as I said, I don't want the, again, it really wouldn't be a problem. I can do this with the picture-in-picture window, but I don't want that complicating things for you. Or for me. It's just going to be easier if we don't have that. So I'm going to use the other iPad here, and I'll be right back with you in just a moment. Just a little bit of noise here.
Generate image button.
I'm still in my document too, so let's
Pages view up back button.
get out of that.
Pages. Choose a template. Button.
Let's go back to Zoom.
Zoom.
Okay, that way in case I need to quickly mute anything. You're kidding me. Okay, so I've got my other iPad here. This one will be still working the call. And we're good to go. Now, I will turn the sound up.
Displaying Catherine Volbrecht's avatar.
Well, let me
Audio
mute that
muted.
sound though so you're not hearing that.
Speech off.
Okay, now you'll hear this iPad.
Try again.
All right.
Landscape. Charge port to the left. Try again.
I think you can hear that just fine.
Settings.
And I'm going to
Double tap to
open Pages
Landscape.
on this iPad.
Page 2 tips. Number pages.
All right.
Double tap to open.
Now the first...
One hidden window.
Oh, interesting.
Show all windows.
I must have forgotten I had a hidden window here.
One hidden window.
So,
Show all windows.
let's double tap on Show All Windows.
Back view up. Back button.
Well, the thing went away, so what I have to do
Bookmark.
is
Page
go
4,
out of Pages
activate,
here
default, home
and
page,
go
garage,
to
key,
the home screen
page,
and long press on Pages.
options.
And I'm going to choose Show All Windows.
Choose it. Start new show all windows. Clock. App switcher. Pages.
All right, it brings up the app switcher, and I'm just going to close these extra windows. I don't know why I had more than one open. Again, could I have worked with the document with the multiple windows? Yes, absolutely. But I'm trying to keep things as simple as possible for all of you.
Close pages.
So let's
close
close this.
Pages. Doc. Suggestions.
I don't know what this other open window is,
Suggestion.
but
Doc. Photo. New wind active. Heading not for doc.
okay, I guess it's closed.
New window. Reopen closed window.
Yeah,
Button.
okay, we're good. So we can go back home
Heading not found.
and go to Pages again.
Number pages.
Okay.
Pages.
All right. Now,
Choose a template button.
we're going to double tap on choose a template. And remember, the first one we're going to do is a letter.
Cancel button.
Now, a word about templates. As I said last week, I am a Creator Studio subscriber. Praise God, I got a ton of premium templates that I can choose from. But I'm not going to use one today because I'm going to use something that everybody has, even if you're not a Creator Studio subscriber. So we're going to use a basic letter. Let's swipe to the right.
Choose a template. Heading.
Look through these categories until we hear letter.
Recents. Basic. Premium. Reports. Education. Certificates. Organizers. Newsletters. Brochures. Business. Books. Cards. Posters and flyers. Letters.
There it is. And double tap on letters.
Classic letter. Document with black text and text fields for your information, the letter recipient's information, and date.
And that's what I want. If I keep swiping,
Letters. Meadow pastel letterhead. Premium content. Standard minimalist letterhead. Premium content. Letterhead with black text on a white background.
and notice how everything that is in this template is told to you. So if I want to see, well, what does Meadow Pastel look like?
Meadow pastel letterhead. Premium content. Letterhead with black text on a tan background.
See, it tells me, but I'm just going to go to the classic one.
Classic letter. Document with black text and text fields for your information, the letter recipient's information, and date.
All right, double tap on that.
Classic back button. Classic letter. Back button.
Okay. Now, we will swipe to the right because the very first thing we always want to do, remember, is rename our document.
View options. Classic letter. Actions menu. Button.
Double tap there.
Image. Classic letter.
And we'll swipe to the right.
Share. Button. Pages document. Rename. Button.
Double tap on rename.
Text field is editing.
And I'm going to just type letter test.
Cap L. Selection deleted. Hyphen. Cap T.
And press return. All right, that renames this document. Let's start swiping to the right.
Text field is editing.
All right, we're as far to the right as we can go. We're on the canvas,
Text field. Body. More.
I think.
Canvas. Body. Sender name.
Okay, there's the body of the document. The fact that we hear the word body confirms for us that this is indeed a word processing document, not a page layout document. If you hear document body or the word body, you know you have a word processing document. So I'm going to double tap on the body or the canvas.
Body. Sender name. Body. Text field.
And I know this is going to be super simple. I'm going to just be able to use my arrow keys to navigate. So you remember these commands. I'm going to press Command up arrow to make sure I am as far to the top of the document as I can possibly be.
Sender name.
Now, I'm going to press the right arrow.
Sender name. Selected.
Listen to what happens when I press the right arrow again.
Sender name. Unselected.
All right, it's now unselected. And then again,
New line.
blank line, and again.
1234 Main Street, any town. State ZIP. Selected.
Okay, so what is actually happening here? This is what we call placeholder text. It's text that we're going to replace with our own actual text, and it's giving you a precise idea of what text should go there. Now, the way that the templates are designed, as soon as you press the right arrow, it automatically selects the entire placeholder. Listen again to this particular placeholder right here.
1234 Main Street, any town. State ZIP. Unselected.
See, it said 1234 Main Street, any town, state, zip. But notice that as I press the right arrow, I'm not moving character by character through that. You didn't hear each individual 1, 2, 3, and then, any town. You didn't hear A-N-Y space T-O-W-N. You didn't hear that. Why? Because when you are in a template, the placeholder text all gets instantly selected, all of it at once in that particular placeholder. Now, when I replace it and I type my own text, that's going to be a different story. Then I can move character by character, just like we have taught you all along. But because this is placeholder text, it selects the entire thing. And you could also do this with the rotor. All right, but let's go back to the left as far as we can go. And let's select the first one.
Sender name. Selected.
Again, how did I select it? I just pressed the right arrow. Well, sender name is me, so I'm going to type my name.
Cap M. Selection deleted.
Notice it said selection deleted. It deleted the placeholder. I need to finish typing. Now notice if I press the left arrow now, I'm going backwards through my name, and notice that indeed I can move character by character now. The other thing it's going to be a good idea for me to do while I'm on this text is to press Control-Option-T or to do my three-finger single tap, because that's going to tell me what type of text this is, what the font looks like, and so on.
Name, 20-point, line spacing, single, black 0, bold, center justified.
Okay. It's bold, it's center justified, it's 20-point. Apparently, there's a paragraph style called name. I didn't even realize that. I usually don't look beyond heading and subheading and body and stuff, but apparently there's one actually called name. And so what happens there is that's the paragraph style. That's what this font is going to look like. Let's listen once again. Control-Option-T.
Name, 20-point, line spacing, single, black 0, bold, center justified.
And it's centered. So I'm not going to change anything. That sounds good for now. All right, let's go to the next line.
1234 Main Street, any town.
And I'll press Command left arrow.
1234.
And then I'll press just the right arrow by itself.
1234 Main Street, any town. State ZIP selected.
I assume that's my address, because I think if I go to the right, we have all the recipient stuff. Let's just do that.
123 new line. 123. 12 new line.
What's this?
New line. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0.
Oh, my phone number.
New line. No underscore reply and example.
My email.
No
Let's see what else there is.
New line. April 6th. April
the
6th.
date.
New line.
Okay.
Recipient name.
Yeah, recipient
Selected.
name.
Recipient new line.
And then
4321 First Street.
Their address. So this first one is looking for my address. So let's go back up here.
Matthew Volbrecht. 1234.
And there it is. We'll press the right arrow.
1234 Main Street, any town. State ZIP selected.
And of course, I'm not going to put my real address here. But we'll just put
1 3 space.
shout out to an old sitcom some of you might remember, 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Cap O, cap G, cap R, cap N.
LN. And I'm assuming, I don't know because I couldn't see it character by character. I'm assuming I put my city and state on a separate line. So I'll do that.
New line.
And we'll just put my city,
T, space,
comma,
space,
and my
cap
two-letter state, and
space,
just a pretend zip code. And then I'm going to read that back.
13 Matthew 1313 Mockingbird LN. Contact information 11 point, not bold.
And notice it tells me it's 11 point. It's contact information. It's not bold. All right. It doesn't tell me unless I press Control-Option-T.
Cap L.
Let's see.
Contact information 11 point, line spacing, single, black 0, center justified.
Okay, yeah, it's still centered. So all the contact information appears to be centered.
Everett,
and I assume that this
Pennsylvania 11111.
is also centered because it didn't say anything different. All right, so let's go down now.
123-456-7890.
Clearly that's a phone number, the way that it's formatted. So we will go to Command left arrow to make sure we're at the beginning, and then press the right arrow to select it.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0.
I'll go ahead and put my TTJ phone number there.
8 selection 1 4 hyphen 6 4 hyphen minus 624 975.
All right, there's my phone number. And now I can work with it character by character if I want to. And again, just to really hit this hard, if I want to check and see how it looks
5
while I have it selected, or at least I'm on one of the characters of that phone number with my cursor, I can single tap with 3 fingers on the screen, or I can press VOT, in other words, Control-Option-T on the keyboard.
Contact information 11 point, line spacing, single, black 0, center justified.
And it's still centered, so that's what we want. Let's go down.
No underscore reply at example.com.
Command left arrow. Oh, it already would have been selected. I should have just let it go, but that's all right. Press the right arrow.
No underscore reply at example.com. Selected.
There's my email address I got to type.
info@ttj.biz.
All right, info@ttjtech.biz.
New line.
Go to the right.
New line. Body April 6th, 2026. Selected.
Now that's the date, and that's actually today's date. So I'm going to leave it. I don't need to change it.
April 6th, 2026. Unselected.
Notice that when I press the right arrow again, it deselects the placeholder. Go to the right.
New line. Recipient name. Selected.
Recipient name. All right, let's pretend we're going to send this letter to Trainer Cliff. So I'm going to type his name here.
Cap K I H S Cap R.
And I will press the down arrow
4321.
and the up arrow.
New line. Selected. April's Clifton Miller. Addressee.
So you can hear his
R.
name there instead of recipient name.
Addressee. 11 point. Line spacing. 1.1. Black 0. Natural alignment.
Notice it's natural alignment now, meaning it's not centered. And notice it has 1.1 line spacing instead of just being single spaced. And I'm not going to put his
4321 First Street.
address. We'll just leave it there like that. And we're going to...
4321 recipient name. Selected.
Okay.
Space. Dear.
Now,
space.
it has the word dear.
Dear. Selected.
All right? You can actually replace that if you don't want to use the word dear. But I'll go ahead and leave it. And so it says dear. And if I press the right arrow again...
Dear. Unselected. Space. Body. Recipient name. Selected.
It says dear recipient name. So I'm going to type Cliff.
Cap K. Select L I H.
And of course you know that that is my
Cliff.
greeting or salutation in the letter. Now if we press the down arrow...
To get started, just tap or click this placeholder text and begin typing. You can view and edit this document on your Mac, iPad, iPhone, or on iCloud.com. It's easy to edit text, change fonts.
I'm going to pause that with the control key. What this is the placeholder for the body of your letter. Now, some templates will use lorem ipsum, in other words, like Latin, random Latin characters, and they'll have a whole bunch of, like, it won't make a lot of sense to you. It's like lorem ipsum, dolores, I don't even know, right? And there's tons of that in some of the templates. Some of these templates instead are actually using English words that we can understand. And this particular template is using this body as an opportunity to describe to you how to edit in Pages. And if you had let that read, there's a lot of text there that tells you how you can format and all these different types of things. If we had text boxes here, it would be important for me to listen through that one time so I can get a rough idea in my mind of how big the text box is. But in this case, it doesn't matter because it's a word processing document. So if I type more text than what's already here, it's just going to add more lines and eventually more pages to the document. So it really doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is go back up here, press the right arrow.
New line. To get started, just tap or click this.
Okay, that's all selected now. So we're going to type a letter to Cliff here.
Cap I. Selection
I hope
deleted.
this letter finds you well. Space, which does the period shortcut, period and a space. And we can verify that with the left arrow.
Period.
Okay, and right arrow.
Space.
And we can tell Cliff, let's have lunch next week when you're in town. And I'll tell him, I think you should pay.
Period.
All right. Now, just read that back, make sure there's no issues.
I hope this letter finds you well. Let's have lunch next week when you're in town. I think.
Now, notice it stopped on the word think because that's the end of that line. So when I press the down arrow,
You should pay.
that's the next line of text. That's going to be important when we start working with text boxes. But, I mean, this is common sense stuff that we've been doing since, a while back already. Let's go down to the next line.
Sincerely yours, comma.
That's a placeholder, but I'm going to leave it alone. Sincerely yours is fine. Down again,
New line.
blank line,
Sender name.
and there's my name. Is there anything else? Nope, that's it. So let's just make sure.
Sender name. Selected. Sender name. Sender name. Selected.
And I'm just going to put Matt.
Cap M. Selection deleted. A. T. T.
All right, so this letter is technically ready to go. Let's read the whole thing. I'm not going to actually let it read the whole thing, but let's just...
More. Canvas. Body. Text field. Is editing. Matthew Vaugrebrecht. 1313 Mockingbird L. N. Everett.
You see that everything I typed is in here. This letter is technically ready to go. And I'm going to, a little bit later, if we have time, collaborate with my mom on this, and I'm going to insert an image that she and I can work with together, because I want to show you that. But before we do that, we're gonna remember this letter. We're gonna keep this fresh in our minds because we're gonna come back to it. But we're gonna move on for right now to a more complicated template, one that requires the use of text boxes, and that's the one I'm gonna collaborate with my mom right away. So let's go back, 4-finger tap near the top,
Back button.
and
Pages.
let's verify that that document is here in the document manager, so that when I'm ready to collaborate with her, we know it's here. Just touch the screen and swipe.
Letter test. Pages file. Today.
And there it is. That's the one. But we're going to go back now and we're going to create a new template, a new document again.
Pages. Choose a template. Button.
And this time we're going to create a flyer.
Cancel. Button.
I'm going to swipe to the right.
Choose a template. Recents. Basic. Creep. Report. Educator. Or news. Brochures. Business. Books. Cards. Posters and flyers.
We're going to say posters and flyers. And again, we're going to go past some of these premium ones that are here.
Volunteer colorful poster. Premium content. Scientific muted poster. Premium content. Business modern poster. Premium content.
Lots of great premium posters, praise God. Let's see what I want, though.
Recreation, academic, community, note-taking, meadow, past, luxury, elegant, photo, posters, photo, event, poster, small, event, poster, party.
I think that's the one I want.
Event, poster, small, document with an image placeholder and text fields on a canvas size of 8.5 by 11 inches.
Now, it's very important you listen to that description because it tells us the paper size. Some posters, I might need a special printer, or I might have to take them somewhere to be printed. Like, let's go back here.
Photo, poster, big. Document with an image placeholder and text fields on a canvas size of 11 by 17 inches.
See, if your printer cannot handle 11 by 17, you're either going to want to pick something else, or you're going to want to know, I have to take that to a printer. You also keep this in mind, a lot of the flyers that I make, we're putting them up at local restaurants and stuff, to advertise events and so on. And, you don't want to be discourteous to other people who put their posters up, so you don't want something super large. You probably want 8.5 by 11. But in this case, it's also important to listen to what these templates have in them. Again, it gives a nice description.
Photo, poster, small, luxury, elegant poster, premium content, document with an image placeholder taking up half of a vertical column, which features pale white yellow text on a brown background.
See, it even describes the colors in some of these. It told me about how big that photo was going to be, and so on. So we're going to go back to the event poster small.
Event poster small, document with an image placeholder and text fields on a canvas size of 8.5 by 11 inches.
All right, it tells me that it's a, there's an image placeholder, so that's good if I want to insert an image, and it's going to have 8.5 by 11, so that's what I wanted to know. Let's double tap on this to create it.
Event poster back button.
Again, the very first
View
thing
options.
we are going to do is we're going to rename it. Swipe right.
Page thumbnails. Select toolbar. Add. Dimmed. Back button. Event poster small. Actions menu. Button.
Double tap.
Image.
Swipe
event
right.
Rename.
Double
button
tap.
Text field is edited.
And we're going to call this new poster test. And press return. Okay, I'm back to the
Canvas. Below.
document. Now, before we do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to collaborate, because I'm going to share this with my mom right away so that she can be ready to assist at any time. Now, I'm not going to, well, let me just do this first. Let's swipe left.
More button.
There's our more button.
Share button.
There's the share button. You don't even have to go into the actions menu. You can, but you don't have to. They have share right here. Once we collaborate, there'll be more options. You can send a message to people, and even in the Messages app, it's going to show when somebody modifies the document. It is really, really powerful, very integrated collaboration. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit share.
Image and illustration. Image and illustration of the white envelope.
I'm going to swipe to the right.
New poster test pages.
There's the name of the document. Swipe right again.
Send copy button.
Okay, right now it is on send copy, and that's not what I want to do. I want to collaborate. So I'm going to double tap on this button.
Collaborate button.
And double tap on collaborate.
Collaborate button. Image.
All right,
Windows.
now if I swipe to the right,
New dash poster dash test dot pages. Collaborate button.
it says collaborate. That's what we want. Swipe right.
Only participants can make changes. Forward button.
Remember, we demonstrated and explained that, or at least explained that to you. That's the button where you can change the permissions. Do you want the participants to be able to make changes or just to view the document? And do you want the document to be limited to people you invite, or do you want to have a public document with a link that anybody can look at? This is already set exactly the way I want it. It's private, it's not public, it's going to be only people I invite, but I do want them to be able to make changes because I want my mom to be able to edit this document when she joins it in case she needs to. So let's go to the right now.
Kylie Volbrecht messages.
And this is my share sheet. It's got a list of sharing suggestions at the top. And we're actually going to look for my dad in here because it's going to be his iPad that my mom will be using. My mom doesn't have an iPad. Don't know why she doesn't. Maybe we need to get her into iPad for all computing and she'll decide to want one. But we're going to go to my dad's name.
Carson Volk mom.
And if he's not here, I'll just go to messages and type his name.
Cliff, Jessica, Shannon, Megan, Viola, Trey, Frank, Christine, Edward Volbrecht.
There he is. Messages. We're going to double tap on his name.
Edward. New added new iMessage button.
And what we have now is a
Double tap
regular
for
iMessage screen, so we're going to just send this.
Edward, add message. Text field is editing. Add comment or send.
Okay.
Insertion point at start.
I can add a comment. I can say, here is the document for your review. Let's just do that.
W period.
Okay.
Review.
I can just press return to send it, but I'll swipe to the right.
Attached link. New poster test. Only participants can make changes.
And that's
Share
why,
as Matthew Volbrecht left random.
there we go. That's why I swiped to the right, because I wanted you to hear that you can verify that the file is indeed attached. Go to the right.
Image. New poster test.
There it is.
Collaborate button.
It says collaborate.
Remove app from message button.
If I change my mind, I can remove the attachment. Swipe to the right.
Send button.
There's the send button.
Send. View options button.
And it'll take just a...
Alert. Updating document.
There we go. It's going to update the document. Okay. And this point now, my dad's iPad should have the message, and my mom can join the document whenever she so chooses. We're going to do a little editing before we actually bring her into the conversation, but she can join at any time. She has a message on his iPad that shows a link, and if you were to receive one like that, you just double tap on it. It'll say the name of the document. You double tap on it, and it'll ask you if you want to open it in Pages, and she'll just hit open. For us, we're going to start to look at what this template even looks like, because we have a lot to learn here.
Canvas. Below.
Okay.
More.
There's the More button that we're all familiar with. So start swiping to the right onto the canvas.
Canvas. Below. Magenta, pink, and purple overlapping vertical stripes. Image. 14 points close to selection's bottom right corner. Double tap to select. Size. 8.2 inches wide. 6.6 inches tall. Position. 1.6% from left. 1.3% from top. Actions available.
Okay.
Use the rotor. Edward Volbrecht has joined.
And notice it says Edward Volbrecht has joined. That means my mom opened that document on the iPad now, so she's now part of this. She can see everything that we are doing as we do it. Now, she can also make changes when we're ready for that, and we'll ask for her advice as soon as I do a little work on this document. This is clearly the image placeholder, and it told us that it's blue and pink
Text
and
below. Magenta, pink, and purple overlapping vertical stripes.
overlapping vertical stripes. It also told us the size of it. It's pretty large, and it told us that it's pretty close to the left and to the top of the document, because it said something like 1.6% from left. You're really going to have to, if you're actually going to work with stuff like this, really listen to what VoiceOver's saying, because you're going to have, I mean, this, and it, even at that, it's going to take, I think, some sighted help for best results, which is why I have my mom here. But listen again, because you get a lot of information.
Image. 14 points close to selection's bottom right corner. Double tap to select.
Okay, now listen to what it says. Size.
8.2 inches wide. 6.6 inches tall. Position. 1.6% from left. 1.3% from top.
I mean, that's got to be almost at the very top of the document. 1.3% and 1.6% from left. That's got to be about as close as you can get to the left and to the top, I would imagine. And it's 8 inches by 6 inches, I think it said. 8 wide and 6 high or something like that. So you get a rough idea in your mind of where this thing is and about how big it is. I'm not going to mess with it yet until I work with the text, because I want to show you how to work with the text first, and then we're going to have to deal with the image. What we do know is the colors that are in this image: blue, magenta, pink, these different colors that are here, and that may be important when we try to figure out what text color to use. So if I look at their existing text color, and I can tell you this already because I have practiced with this document, or with this template, I should say, I can tell you that they use a white font right now. So this image happens to have all these colors in it, right? If we didn't have this image here and we just had the white font on the white document, that would be a problem. You wouldn't be able to see the white text at all. But because it's on these different colors, which you wouldn't know that, except as I told you, I've practiced with the template and my mom explained that to me, that they're sort of overlapping each other. The text overlaps the image. And so you're going to just keep that in mind. Right now, white is probably a good choice, but if we want to see that when we get to our text box, I'll show you that. So let's swipe to the right so we can see what else is in this document besides the image.
Text box, this exhibition.
Okay.
33 points close to selection's bottom right corner, double tap to select. Size, 7.8 inches wide, 4.7 inches tall, position, horizontally centered, 2.5% from top.
Okay, well, 2.5% from top. We know the image was like 1.6% from top or something. So yeah, it sort of does make sense in my mind now that I'm thinking about it through that lens that they're overlapping, because we know that image was really big. The text box here says this exhibition. So presumably that's going to be our event title. Now, because this is an object, we have to double tap it first to select it, okay? Right now it's not selected, so you definitely cannot work with it. But if you double tap on it, watch what happens.
Selected. Text box. This exhibition.
Okay.
Text field.
Now it's selected.
Double tap to edit.
But notice it says double tap to edit. It's not editing yet. Why? Because when you double tap an object, it simply selects it. Now you can move it. Now you can resize it. Now you can work with it. But if you want to type in it, you're going to have to double tap it a second time. So you double tap once to select, double tap a second time now to actually begin typing.
Insertion point at end.
Okay, it said insertion point at end. I apologize for the puppy barking. She'll stop momentarily. This exhibition, that's our title, remember? And I assume it's placeholder, just like that stuff was in the letter if we go up.
This exhibition. Selected.
Yep.
This exhibition.
See that? So notice if I want to replace this with my event title, I press the right arrow.
This exhibition. Selected.
And I'm just going to make up a pretend event here. We're going to say Miller Family Reunion.
Space.
Okay, and it already filled in reunion for me. Okay, now notice that. Okay,
uniform.
I can edit it character by character now with the arrow keys. Let's check out the attributes of this event title by pressing Control Option T as soon as the dog stops barking. Okay.
Title, Helvetica Neue, 72 point, line spacing, 0.8, white 100, natural alignment, home.
Okay, so it's 0.8 line spacing, not quite single spaced. It's a huge font. It's 72 point. That has got to be absolutely gigantic text. But remember, this is a poster, so that's what you'd want. You'd want that along with the image to catch people's attention, probably. So at least for right now, until we hear from my mom in a few minutes, we're going to leave it like that. She may say, you know, that's too big, or it's, you know, whatever the case may be. But we're going to see. Right now, we're just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to mess with it because I just want to sort of create this document. Now, while we're here, we can swipe to the right.
Text box, event subtitle.
Okay, so there's another text box. I just want to show you. Swipe back to the left.
Selected. Text box. Text field is editing.
And it's still open. It's editing. But I also can tell you there's an actions rotor. And if you swipe up or down, you have some options that I want you to hear.
Activate, add comment, add title, add caption, format, deselect all.
Notice the deselect all option. We talked about that last week when we inserted a picture. If you ever want to deselect everything so you're not accidentally changing something, you can double tap on that deselect all option in the rotor. But I don't really think we'll need to, because if we swipe to the right,
Text box, event subtitle, April 6th, 2026, new line, 7:10 p.m., location, www.example.com.
Okay.
To get started, just tap or click this placeholder text and
all right, wow. I'll press the control key to pause that. We just learned that this text box is basically the rest of the poster, probably. If I swipe to the right again,
suggested, reun, undo.
Yeah, those are our suggestions. Reun instead of reunion, and the undo button and all that kind of stuff. That text box basically comprises the rest of the poster. I don't know why they decided to put everything in one text box. I mean, that's fine. I'm not criticizing it. I don't know what the reason was behind that, but that is what's done here. So the event subtitle, the date, the location, and you even saw that the event description is going to be in there because it had one of those placeholder fields where it started saying, to get started, replay, whatever. So that means every other placeholder is going to be inside of this text box. Now, because it is a text box and not a document body, we also have to keep in mind that we want to be careful not to exceed the size of the text box. If we should happen to exceed the size of the text box, our sighted family and friends will see a plus symbol. I believe it's at the bottom of the text box that indicates there's more there, that we're going to have to increase the size of the text box if we want to see it. For us voiceover users, what's going to happen if we exceed the size is we're going to hear that boundary reached sound. But it's not going to actually prevent you from typing. It's just that you're not going to see anything else you typed. Now, the problem with this is that when you're using voiceover, if you exceed the size of the text box and you keep typing, the voiceover cursor is going to become extremely wonky and unreliable. It's not going to be able to properly move through the text box. You're going to think you're stuck. It's not going to read what you're typing. It's going to be a real problem. So when you hear that boundary reach sound, you pretty much need to immediately take action if you want to keep being able to properly edit. And what action are you going to take? Well, you have a couple of choices. You can decrease the font size if that's reasonable. Spoiler alert, that's not going to be a good idea in this one. I'll explain why shortly, but you theoretically can decrease the font size. You can remove some text, be a little bit less wordy, which is going to be really our only viable option for this text box. Or the third option is we can increase the size of the text box to accommodate more text. Now, that's not really a good idea in this particular template because, according to my mom, this text box, which I'm sure VoiceOver would tell me, is very near to the bottom of, well, I shouldn't say it's very near to the bottom. It's large enough that it goes to basically the bottom of the page. And you're probably not going to want your flyer to be on 2 pages. You're going to probably want it to be a 1-page flyer, 1-page poster, I should say, because this was a poster template. So you understand why I'm saying to you that it's not really an ideal option to increase the size of the text box, because if you do, you're going to be on the next page. The reason I say it's not a good idea to decrease the font size is because we're going to find out very soon that the event description text is already like 10 or 11 point. You really would not want it to be any smaller than that. Otherwise, people aren't going to be able to read it. So all of this stuff comes from practice and experience and listening to what VoiceOver tells you. I am certain that VoiceOver would have told me the size of that text box. I didn't let it read because it has that whole big placeholder. This is, where it says to get started, type in, so we'd have had to listen to all that first. I'm going to replace it, and then maybe we'll see the size. But I will also say that that is good news for us, that there's that much text there, because that does mean I can have a pretty lengthy event description. Now, you remember I said to you this text box has multiple placeholders. It has one for the subtitle, one for the location, one for the date, all in one text box. That's actually a good thing as well, because what that means is that my location, for example, doesn't have to be the exact length of the placeholder. It can be a little bit longer, and it'll just move everything else down. Ultimately, it's going to, decrease the availability of how much more I can type. But there's a lot of room in this text box because that main placeholder where we're going to write the description is quite long. So we should not have any problem. So we're having this pretend event, the Miller family reunion. So let's go ahead and double tap.
Undo. Read canvas. Text box. Event subtitle.
There's the box.
6th,
Again, we'll double tap once to select it. Now,
middle selected. Text box. Event subtitle.
once you select something, I want you to notice what happens if we swipe to the left here.
Middle left shape handle. Upper right shape handle. Unlinked text box. Upper left shape handle. W. 7.75 in H. 3.62 in.
All right, I'm not even going to get into that right now. If we have time, we're going to do that with an image at the end of class today in that other document. But I want you to know, when you double tap an object, like a text box, it's going to get all these handles around it that we can use to resize the text box. I'm not going to do that, though. I don't want to resize it. I want to just type in it. So let's go back to the right.
Unlinked upper right middle left selected. Text box. Event subtitle.
It's selected, but remember we have to double tap it a second time to be able to type in it.
Insertion point at end.
All right, the insertion point is at the end. Let's press Command up arrow.
Event subtitle.
Now, press the right arrow.
Event subtitle. Selected.
And there's the subtitle. And again, it's placeholder text, so it is selected. And this is the Miller family reunion. Let's say, a time of fellowship with your loved ones. Now again, my mom may tell me that's too much text. It might need to be... In fact, let's just press the down arrow.
New line.
And press the up arrow.
Ones.
Ooh, notice what happened there. Notice what happened. So go up.
With your loved. A time of fellowship.
Okay, so right now that subtitle is taking up 3 lines. A time of fellowship. Next line.
With your loved.
With your loved. And the next line.
Ones.
Ones. Why is it taking up 3 lines? That seems awfully small. Why would that be the case? Well, the reason that that's the case, and again, in order to know this, you'd have to go into your format menu here, and you'd have to look at the way everything's formatted. What we know is that this is a column. This poster is set up in columns. It's not the entire 8.5 by 11 canvas. It's a small column of that, and that means we don't have that whole space to type this event subtitle. The other thing we can find out here,
with your love,
with a very simple Control Option T,
subtitle, Helvetica Neue, 18 point, line spacing, 1.1, black 0, natural alignment.
All right. So I don't imagine that we're going to want to leave it this way. Ones doesn't seem like it should be on its own line. That just seems improper. At least loved ones should be on one line, but I'm going to wait for my mom's input on this to have her tell me, should we make the font smaller? Should we put a return after a certain word, to manually decide what gets on each line? I don't know. Without seeing it, I'm going to wait for her recommendation before I mess with it. So right now, the way that it is,
at a time of fellowship,
1 line,
with your loved,
second line,
ones.
I guarantee you we're not going to leave it that way. But let's go ahead down to the right,
new line,
and see what's next.
New line, sub April 6th, 2026, selected.
Okay, that's the date. When is this event actually going to occur? We'll say June
Cap J E
6th,
6 space
26.
26.
All right, so that's fixed.
New June 6th, 2026.
Go down.
7 and dash 10 p.m.
All right, 7 to 10 p.m. Probably a family reunion is going to be daytime, I'd say. So
710
Let's
new
see.
line. New line 710 p.m. Selected.
Notice it's a 7:10 p.m. So what I bet they have is the number 7, a dash, and then 10 p.m. So we'll make it 1 to 9 p.m. We'll type a 1
select
dash
hyphen
9
cap M.
p.m. and that's fixed.
June 1 hyphen 9 p.m.
Okay, let's go down.
New line. Location selected.
All right, location. Now, notice
Location selected.
here again, one of those cases where I'm probably going to have something longer because this is going to be located at, we'll just say the Cherry Street
Y caps E space
Picnic Grounds.
cap S.
And I might need to put a new line and actually put the address of the picnic grounds, but we're not going to do that for the sake of time.
Cherry Street Picnic Grounds.
And notice even that, grounds got on a separate line. So here again, we might end up doing something to this so that it fits on one line. I don't know if we can, but let's go down.
New line. www.example.com. Selected.
Now, I mean, do I have a web address for my family reunion? I don't know. Nowadays, maybe we do. Or a Facebook link. You know, we could certainly have a Facebook group for the family reunion. Maybe I'd put that web address there. Go ahead down.
www.newline. Selected.
All right.
New line.
Now, what has happened?
New line. www.example.com. Selected.
There, I'm going to go ahead and replace that and just put
Period. M. New line. Subtitle 2. Line spacing. Single. Dark gray 14. Helvetica Neue.
all right. Now, the
Keyboard canvas.
The interesting thing,
Selected.
let's listen to
Text
this.
box. Text field is editing. A time of fellowship with your loved ones. June 6th, 2026, 1:09 p.m. Cherry Street Picnic Grounds. www.facebook.com. To get started, just tap or click this placeholder text.
All right, that's there. Let's double tap on this again.
Insertion point at start. Selected.
And
text box.
again.
Text field. Insertion point at end.
We're at the end. And it doesn't, it's for some reason, it's not even reading that.
To get started.
But I'm going to
just
type,
tap or
okay, I
click.
pressed delete. So we're going to come for
Capital E.
Great
space,
food.
Great. D. Space.
fun
Space. Fun.
games
Space,
and
C.
activities,
S. Space.
and
Space. And.
great, and a time of fellowship.
P. Space.
Bring your favorite covered dish
H.
and get ready for
Space. 4.
water balloon toss,
L. S. Space.
a dunking booth,
Space.
and a pie eating contest.
Space. Period.
Okay, presumably I have
Dunking booth and a pie eating contest. Period.
enough room in this text box for everything I just typed because I didn't get that little boundary reached notification. But again, I'm not so sure that everything's going to be formatted as best it can possibly be. I should put,
Period. New line. New
see, I can press return manually if I want to put some blank lines, and I'll say RSVP
Cap R. Cap S. Cap V. Cap P.
on Facebook.
Space. Book.
Okay, and I'm not gonna, we put a Facebook link in there. I mean, it just went to the main Facebook page, but that's only because I don't have a specific group to put in there. You could have put the actual Facebook group or whatever. So I just said RSVP on Facebook, so they ought to know how to do that, right? Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go back up and look at this image here. I'm going to deselect this text box.
D4. Deselect all.
I'm going to go back up and look at this text box, this image object, rather.
Text box. Blue, magenta, pink, and purple overlapping vertical stripes. Image.
All right, so if I want to change that, I have to double tap it to select it.
Selected. Blue, magenta.
Now let's swipe to the right.
Replace image. Button.
Replace image, and let's double tap on that.
Replay alert. Choose photo or video. Button.
So I can choose one.
Take photo or video.
I can
Button.
take a photo or video.
Choose file. Button.
Choose a file from iCloud.
Choose file.
And those are my only choices right there. Now, there are options within this app to actually generate an image, and we could certainly do that.
Dismiss pop-up.
I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that a
Activate
minute.
to dismiss pop-up with canvas.
Let's see.
327.
I don't know how much time I want to devote to this image, but I guess I want to show you the possibilities here very quickly. The generate image option in Pages is a new feature of Creator Studio. Instead, though, we're just going to go to ChatGPT. I'll use Oh, I know why it's not an option, because I'm on the iPad that doesn't have the Apple Intelligence, so I have to go to ChatGPT. That's right. Launch ChatGPT. Yeah, that was my fault. I apologize. Okay, we're in ChatGPT, and I'm just going to Create a new chat.
Add button. New temporary chat menu. New chat button. New chat.
And what I'll do
Chat. Add new message. Text field
is double tap in that new message.
Insert.
And I'll say create an image
Space. Create.
of and let's say a group of smiling people.
Space. Smiling. Space. People.
Surrounded by
Space.
various picnic items.
Space. Period. Items.
In the background,
Space.
include
Space. Include.
a beautiful outdoor scene. Again, if I really were doing this, I'd be more specific. I would really try to direct it more than that, but for the sake of time, we're just going to go with it.
Send. Button. Send.
Okay. Now, what has it done?
New chat. Kayak indoor setup. Button. Child with lap Hebrews. Songwriting request.
Let's see what we have here.
Open projects. Images. Apps. Recents. Picnic scene request. Button. Apple Visual Intelligence rollout. Button.
All right. Picnic scene request.
Button.
There it is.
Recent.
Let's see if I have to
Send.
go down to the bottom here. Bottom of the screen.
Button. Creating image.
Creating image.
Actions avail. Button. Image. Sediment. //file _ 0000000.
Okay, there's the image.
* alt text. * A group of 6 people sit closely together on a red and white checkered picnic blanket, smiling warmly toward the camera. They
Okay.
appear relaxed and happy, suggesting a friendly, social gathering. Surrounding them on the blanket is a variety of picnic foods and items. Bowls of chips, fresh fruit like watermelon and grapes, a dish of fried food, a jar of sauce, and a bottle of orange-colored juice. A wicker picnic basket sits nearby, along with a guitar, a thermos, and a red cooler. * background description. * behind the group is a peaceful outdoor scene featuring a calm lake reflecting the sky. Tall evergreen trees line the water's edge, and beyond them rise large, snow-capped mountains. The sky is bright blue with soft clouds, and the lighting suggests a warm, sunny afternoon, creating a serene and inviting atmosphere. If you'd like, I can adjust the image, for example, fewer people, different setting like a beach or park, or specific foods.
Okay. I'm just going to leave it because I think that sounds good.
Add.
So what we'll do
Image.
is there's the image.
Actions available. Share.
Swipe down and choose
Search the web retro branch and bed explore drag on.
probably
drag
share.
to
Let's see.
activate share.
Yeah, share.
Here's an accept button.
And-
image. Swipe up or image created.
Okay.
Button.
Double
Image.
tap on that.
Dismiss pop.
Had to just double tap
Close.
it and
Button.
go to the right.
More. Save. Button. Share. Button. Add.
All right, where's my...
New message.
Let's see.
Save.
Save
Button.
ought to save it to my library, I would
Save.
think.
Alert. ChatGPT would like to add to your photos.
Yep, that's what we want.
Allow.
Allow.
Dismiss pop-up.
Now again,
Activate to dismiss.
one of my iPads has Apple Intelligence, and I'm using that one in Zoom. So if I had been using that one in Pages, I could have generated the image right in the Pages app. But it should be in my library now from ChatGPT.
Allow.
And I think we're...
Get started.
Let's see.
Tap select, highlight the area, and just select an area of the image to edit.
Oh, no, we
Edit
don't want to
tab
do
and
that.
Edit the full
Okay.
refine images.
No,
Refine
we're good.
apps.
So I
Tap
just
get
need to
start. Learn more.
just dismiss that.
Button.
And I think it's...
Close. Button. More. Save. Button.
Should be saved
Share. Button.
to my...
Save.
to my library now.
More close.
We will
Close.
verify that it is. I'll go back to
Image.
photos
Paul page.
so we don't
Suggestion. Photos. Double.
end up
Date
not
range.
having it. Let's just check.
Date range. Date
Here's
range.
my most recent photo.
Time 3:32 p.m.
Yep,
More content available. A group of people sitting at a table with food items. On
there it is.
note.
There it is. Let's go back to Pages.
Cellular 2 of 4 bar app switcher. Chat Pages. Active.
And
Pages,
again, what I'm
active.
going to do is replace that
Select.
image with the one we just created.
Lower right image.
So here's
Lower middle. Lower left middle right. Replace image. Button.
replace
alert.
image.
Take photo. Choose photo or video.
Choose photo or video.
Choose. To cancel button.
And it should be the most recent one.
Select collection, favorites, live, photo, look close, learn, photo, time, 3:32 p.m.
That's the one. Double tap it.
Selected, photo. A screenshot of a social media post with text and photos of people in front of a body.
Now let's see.
Lower right image, look middle, selected. Double tap to edit image mask, image. Actions available. Use the rotor to access document headings, links.
All right, let me deselect it.
Drag I explore, deselect all.
And let's look at
More.
what it tells us now.
Canvas, selected, image. 14 points close to selection's bottom right corner, double tap to select. Size, 8.2 inches wide, 6.6 inches tall, position, 1.6% from left, 1.3% from top. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate. Use the rotor to access document headings, links, misspelled words, comments, highlights, nearby elements, bookmarks. More content available. A group of people sitting on a bench and posing for a photo in front of a body of water. Miller family reunion.
Now, the image, if what VoiceOver is telling me is correct, is the exact same size as the one that we had in here previously in the template. We will find out. So what I'd like to do now is to bring my mom into this, and I don't know if you're muted, Mom, but you should be able to unmute. Are you there? All right, she may have to unmute. We'll try to check.
Hear me?
Oh, there you are. There you are. We got you. How are you?
Just fine, thank you.
Good,
Can you,
good.
I just have to get back to your screen that you did before.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So how do I do that?
You can just swipe up.
Swipe
from
up
the bottom.
over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just see where it is. Was it in, okay, it was in pages, was it not?
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay. So the first question I would have for you, I guess, is with the image that we replace now that we put, you can see the new image, correct?
Correct.
And is it still the same size as the placeholder?
It is.
Okay. Now, I don't know. I didn't really ask it about the colors specifically. So you'll have to tell me now, looking at this whole document, as I said before, I know that we're going to have to change something in that subtitle because I don't really like the fact that ones is on a separate line from loved, and there's probably other places like that. So what would be the first thing you would do now in this document?
Well, the first thing I would do is to be sure that when you replace your picture, if that's what you're going to do with what's there as the the default, I would check to make sure somebody checks it for you. Two reasons. Number one is the colors. As I indicated before, if there's going to be text on top of your image, the text will always have to be lighter than the background of the image below it. It's layered. In other words,
Right.
the picture you put in is on the bottom, the text you put is on the top. In your case, you kind of hit it a little bit lucky because the way that it is there's, I'll describe it briefly to you. There's a pine tree on the left and a pine tree on the right, the sky with clouds, mountains in the beginning, but they're all like icy looking mountains, light blue. And then there's like an arc shaped lower level of trees. And your Miller family reunion is right on top of everything I just told you was there.
Right.
The people are below it. So fortunately, you don't have to worry about that because the text does not go in the middle on their faces. So the color is fine the way it is, but that's something that you'd want to have to check with somebody who visually can say to you, this is okay or this is not okay. The second thing is when you put a replacement in there, replace the image, I'm assuming they're using the dimensions that are previously there to put in the next picture that they're going to replace it with. So you want to be sure that nothing is cut off because your picture may have more in it than what the image size allows for. So in this case, everything is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. There's 5 people there. They're sitting down. They look happy and everything's fine. And what is cut off doesn't matter that much. There's samples of food, but it's okay to get the point across of what you want to do. So always check that. So you're fine with the image, but I'm not 100% sure that when you replace it, I think it just replaces what the size dimensions are with the same size.
I would say it must have. That's what it seems like.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in this case, it didn't cut off anything that was major, but you want to be sure that if you do replace it, that nothing does get cut off. That would be major. Like somebody's, if you wanted to put a portrait of, the Mona Lisa or something, and all of a sudden you cut off her head, well, that wouldn't
Right.
work. Okay.
And probably what we should have done, which again, just for the sake of time, I wasn't even thinking, but when we created the image, I probably should have instructed ChatGPT that this will be used in a Pages template or something like that too, just to make sure
Right,
we
right.
didn't have any, again, this worked out well, but yeah.
Right. Okay. The other part of that in terms of an image itself, and for people who do or do not know, there's that bleed that we talk about. Well, this does not have a bleed because you're not extending the image from one edge of the paper to the other paper. When you're working with 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and you want to go with the whole image across the whole top,
Text
the
box.
8.5 inch width, your actual dimension of the paper has to increase by like a 1/16 of an inch, because to bleed and get the color of everything in that image from edge to edge, they're going to cut a piece off. So you want to make sure nothing's going to get cut off when they go to a printer if you want a bleed. And that you can discover and talk about later on. That's not important now, but it's something that you need to address if you're going to want an edge to edge print of a picture on
Right.
the image. Okay, so we'll just skip that for now. Okay, getting down to your text now. A time of fellowship. Oh, one other thing. I'm sorry. Miller family reunion. Normally, I would have centered that, but the reason it looks fine is because if you would have centered it, it would have been over their heads, and that would not have looked okay. So it's fine the way it is. Again, that's
Okay.
something a visually, sighted person might want to look at to be sure for you.
Right.
Okay, going down to the bottom where the whole thing was in one text thing. Okay, a time of fellowship with your loved ones. I agree. The word ones should not be on that line by itself. So what happened was we left it that way. You changed the date and that was okay. When you got down to the location, Cherry Street Picnic Grounds, okay, I don't know if you heard it or not, but when you did that, what happened was you got a plus sign at the very bottom edge of that text box, right in the center, which was telling you reached the limit of what you can put here. So what happened was when you did that, www.facebook.com, immediately after that, when you wanted to go to that, remember there were 3 columns there?
Right.
Okay, you lost your middle column. Everything moved over to the last column because apparently something pushed down and moved that column over to the extreme right third column. So
Okay.
in order to have to get it back, you would probably either technically have to expand that text box, which isn't a good idea because you're already at the bottom of the page.
Right.
Okay, so you can either make this text smaller, and a time of fellowship with your loved ones. You can try to center that, and maybe that would look better centered. But then the June 6, 2026, that would probably be okay. The Cherry Street Picnic Grounds is going to be a problem because I think you went to about 2 different lines and it pushed everything down. So we'd have to check to see what best would work. You can try those edits if you want to see what would happen.
All right. So what is the first, you think the first thing we should do is where it says a time of fellowship with your loved ones, how should we address that issue?
Okay. A time of fellowship with your loved ones. I would check the font out first, size
Okay.
of that font.
All right, let's do that.
Selected. 14 points close to.
So right now,
More. Text box. Also editing. Edward Volbrecht. A time of fellowship with your loved ones.
and notice, folks, that it told me also editing Edward Volbrecht because my mom is in that same text box where her cursor is, so that lets me know that there's a second person working on this at the same time. So let's double tap it to select it.
Text box. Also edit text box.
And
Miller
the
family
interesting
text
thing
box
is,
selected. Text box. Also editing. Edward Vol insertion point at end.
we're going to go to the beginning,
Cap A space.
and we're going to look at the font here.
Cap Tango.
Let's see what it says.
Subtitle. Helvetica Neue. 18 point. Line spacing. 1.1. Black 0. Natural alignment.
Okay, so it's 18-point font. So should we make that smaller?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think it should be?
I would just try to go down 1 point, like to 17 and see what happens, because the word ones is not long.
Okay.
So try to make it,
let's-
first try that.
So let's select it. So we have to remember the shift Option right arrow to select this phrase.
Cap time of fellowship with selected. Select loved ones selected.
Okay, and we're going to go over to format.
Text more share collect undo format.
Notice there's a
button.
collaborate button there now. Format,
Button.
and we're going to
select arrange paragraphs bold it up side
change the
size
size.
18.7.
Should I maybe go to 16 point, you think? Or
Yes, try 16.
16 point
okay,
size.
let's get out of that and see, and I'll deselect it by pressing the right arrow.
Okay, there you go.
With your loved one, the time of fellowship with your loved ones.
And with your loved ones is on one line now.
Yes,
so
it is.
So that's two separate lines, a time of fellowship and then with your loved ones. So is that satisfactory there?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So that's fine. Now everything is back where it's supposed to be, except you took away all the text as the placeholders for the 3 columns. So now you just have 2 columns.
Okay.
So, you could potentially add more text now if you wanted to, more paragraphs after come for a great fun, for fun.
Right.
I can't see what that says in there exactly. But you can add more paragraphs to that. And it should, by the time you get to the end of the paragraphing after contest and RSVP on Facebook, whatever, you can fit another column there because it was set for 3 columns. And what it would do is it would wrap around and then go to the 3rd column automatically. Now, you don't have enough text there, but you could pretend that you did if you wanted to. Everything else is okay on the left side. The fellowship with your loved ones, the June 6th, that's fine. The Cherry Street picnic grounds. You don't have a specific address, but if you added an address, my inkling is that it's going to, again, push all of that down and you're going to get another plus sign. I'm not sure why you didn't hear it before.
Well, I think I probably did notice it whenever I said that it didn't read what was highlighted, and then I just deleted it and it worked, remember, because it didn't read. So that's probably where it actually was. Now, I don't know why that caused that to happen, because I didn't put that much text in there, though.
No, but the size of the text, I think, makes a difference as well. And you were pretty close. Don't forget, they say that you have a little bit room, but actually, I don't know how much room you actually have. So I would do, the next thing I would do, let's just go down to that www.facebook.com and change that, because your size of the time of fellowship with your loved ones is 16. Let's bring that www.facebook.com to 16 also. I don't know what size it is.
Yeah.
June 6th, June 6th, 1 new lawn, Cherry Street picnic grounds. New line.
And I don't know if I like picnic and grounds being on 2 separate lines.
No, you won't. But you're actually, you don't. It can be that way if you're running a complete address, but you're not. So let's just do the Facebook thing first.
Yeah, I might add an address just to see what happens, but let's
www.facebook.com.
So let's see what that is. That seems like it's subtitle.
Subtitle, Helvetica Neue, 18 point.
Yeah, that's also 18. So you just want to be 16
just be
point for that?
consistent, right? 16.
All right, so I think I have to
www selected.
Select it.
Period. Selected Facebook. Period. Selected.
And then let's go to format.
Collect undo format. Button.
I believe there is a keystroke. I think I could have done maybe Command Dash to decrease the font size, but since I'm not sure, we're just going to do it through the menu.
18 points, 16 point size.
And then I'll scrub out of it and press the right arrow to deselect it.
www.facebook.com. Unselected.
Okay, that should have made it smaller now.
Okay. Now, before we go any further, what you need to check is to see if the columns were still set for 3, or if that changed when you deleted all that text.
Okay, so that is under format, I believe.
Yes, and it should be, you might want to check under, I don't know if it's, let me see if I have to look on my thing. I could tell.
Yeah, it's either under arrange or text. Let me see.
It's under text, Matthew.
Yeah, I thought, here it is. Columns.
Okay.
It still says 3.
Okay, so you still can fit a total of 3 columns in that text box. And the first column has your subtitle, A Time of Fellowship with Your Loved Ones, the date, Cherry Street picnic grounds. Again, if you change everything to be consistent, you would change the date to be at 16 point, the Cherry Street picnic grounds at 16 point. So they're all consistent, and that probably would give you more room in the first column.
Okay.
Okay. Then moving on to the second column, as I said, it's a 3-column template, so you can actually add all that description, anything you want from that paragraph on, until it wraps to the 3rd column.
Right.
So
you cannot choose what column you are putting something in. It just goes there automatically when there's enough text.
The only way that I know of from my experience that you were able to do that is if you pressed a hard return.
Oh.
Like like end at the end, like a paragraph ending. I don't know if that's available to you or not.
Wonder
The
if
only
that's...
way, but it allows you to jump from one column to another one without it wrapping.
Right. And I think there is an option
Keyboard out
under
fonts align insert
under insert maybe for column break.
Comment.
Let's see.
I think that's what you would
Yeah.
want to look.
There is a column break option.
Okay, then that's what you would do if you wanted to go and finish one column and then force a third column that may not be real long, but you want it to be a third column, then you
Right.
could put a column break there. They apparently do not have a column break. It doesn't appear to be after the www.facebook.com, because I think that's where we ran into the problem where we ended up pushing your second and third column out of the way.
Yeah, it either happened there or in the address.
That Cherry Street picnic thing.
Yeah, that's actually where I think it happened, and I don't understand why, because that's not really very long, but that's where it seems to be.
Dismiss pop-up.
So let me first change the font size on the other things, because that
1-9 p.m.
Let's see.
June 6th.
So do I need to change June 6th?
I would highlight June 6th all the way down the Cherry Street picnic grounds.
All the way through that.
All the way through that.
Okay.
Cherry Street picnic grounds.
And we're going to try Command Dash because I do think that works. I did it twice. Did that do anything?
Yes, it did.
All right. So Command Dash will decrease the font size. Command Plus will increase it. All right. So we made it. Yes.
Now, if you put a column break after www.facebook.com,
immediately after the M?
Yes.
All right, let's try that.
Out in font align insert comment line column break selected text.
Okay. Now what it did was it moved that come for great food, fun, games, and activities over to the third column. So what we'd have to do is, I don't know if there's an insertion point. Let me see if you can. I don't know. See, I'm not familiar. We didn't do this for a practice thing yesterday.
No, we didn't do this. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Because everything pushed it out of the way.
Yeah.
The come for great food, fun, and games. Why don't you delete that?
The whole rest of
the whole rest of that, yes.
Just delete everything else.
Just delete everything there, just that.
All right. Command the whole rest of the document, though, right?
Yeah, to the end where it says RSVP on Facebook.
Command Shift down arrow will
for great food.
And then delete.
Selection delete caps C.
There we go.
Oh, you have a C in there. Okay. Now let's go back to www.facebook.com, and however you get to your next column, normally you should just be able to click to the next column. I'm not sure how this works in Apple.
New line.
Well, I think if I type now, it should, because the
but it's over on the third column. It's not on the second.
Oh, you don't want it on the second column, on the third column now.
No, I wanted to go. I wanted it like as though you were going to type two separate columns now.
Well, let's delete this because I think the problem is we inserted a column break.
New line. www.newline.com.
So I think if now it should be on the second column, right?
Not yet. Return again.
Let's see.
New line.
So if I type right now,
I don't see anything. I don't see any. I don't see your cursor.
Well, did that?
Okay, no, it's at the bottom of the text box now.
Okay.
So you need to go one more line down, see if it comes to the second column.
So delete that.
Well, yeah, delete it and go down one more line.
I mean, you can press return again, like to insert.
Yes, go ahead. One more. Return one more time.
Okay.
And now type.
How about now?
Space, com.
Okay, now you're on your second column.
And that's where you wanted to be, right?
Yes.
Okay, and now if I keep typing, it will automatically wrap to the third when it needs to?
Yes, it should. Yes, because you don't have a column break there. So just go ahead and type anything you want.
Space, and P, space, Y, space, Space. Ready. Space. 4.
What did I say? Oh, a pie. I said dunking with
Space. Period.
Now,
Contest.
I had normally
You
put.
have more room yet.
Okay. Well, I was going to put RSVP on Facebook. Should I put that on the same line, or should I put 2 blank lines like I
Actually,
did
I
before?
would, if you want just a simple third, are you going to try to put a third column in there?
I mean, it doesn't matter. We can.
I want to make sure it just wraps for you like it's supposed to because you have 3 columns.
So should I just keep typing a while then?
Just press 2 returns to, or a return to get a new paragraph.
New line.
There's one.
Okay.
You want a second one?
Yes.
New line.
Okay.
And then type something in there so that it goes around the third column.
Space. RSVP. Space. Period.
Okay.
Link.
Okay. Keep typing because you're not on your
Oh,
third.
not enough yet. Okay.
No.
Space.
There you go. Now what it did, it took that paragraph and moved it to the third column because there was too much to fit on one column.
But that's what you wanted to happen.
But that's what I wanted to happen. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So see, by not abiding by the template fonts that they're using, or even if you do, you got to be careful, again, as I said, how much you put in there to replace what you're replacing, because the minute you hear that plus sign, you don't have enough room. It's telling you that. Don't go any further.
Right.
Because I don't believe with the template of a poster, they're going to advance to a second page at all. Even if you try to extend that plus sign, I don't believe they'll go to a second page of a poster. Posters
No,
are generally
I don't think so either. You'd have to, and I don't even know that you can because of
because posters are generally one page.
Supposed to be one page. Right.
Right. So it's really important you look at when you start your poster, what the settings are in there. Again, as I said before, it's important that you look at maybe the size of the image you're going to be putting in there.
Right.
Think about what you want to put in there. And then do you want columns? Do you not want columns? You can have a text box with no columns. It doesn't have to have anything. And you could center everything in the middle there the same way, but just make paragraphs like you do on like when we do your big posters for church. So to speak.
Right. We could have inserted we could have turned off the columns. We could have gone into format and said none. And then we could have just centered the text in the text box.
Exactly. And you would have and just wherever you wanted it to highlight, like something like the subtitle of A Time of Fellowship with Your Loved Ones, you could change the font, you could change the color, you could change the size, and then you return, and then you put the date underneath and change the font, the size, the color. You can do all kinds of things with the font without having to do column work. Columns choices is entirely up to the person, the designer. So it doesn't have to be 3 columns. It could just be one straight text box and just paragraph returns where you want them to be. Or it can be like separate text boxes to have you do the same kind of thing.
Right. And to be clear, not all of the templates are going to have columns. That just happened to be the way this one was set up.
Right.
But again, we could change that too.
You can do anything you want with a template. If you delete something, it's totally up to you. You can get rid of it. It doesn't have to be there.
Right.
But you have to put something there, obviously, to replace it, on your own.
All right. So let's do one more thing before we open it up to questions and call it a day. Let's go back, and Mom, I'll send that other document, that letter that I did, so we can add an image and show people how we moved the image around a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go back, folks, at the top, and I'm going to...
Keyboard.
What's happening here?
View options.
There we go.
Back button.
Okay. And I'm going back into my letter. Remember I said we'd come back to it. Here's...
New poster test. Pages.
There's my poster that we just did.
Sneaker. Page. New. Search.
Okay.
New. Letter test. Pages file.
There's letter test. That's the one we just did a few minutes ago.
Letter test.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to insert an image into this.
New line.
Because I'm going to show you how we move objects around if we do need to move them. Right now, I'm going to go to the very beginning, and I'm going to choose an image here, and I'm going to I'll go to Insert Media.
More. Share. Undo. Format. Content Hub. Insert media button.
I'll remind you, you can also do this from the menu bar, but here we go.
Body text field. It browse content hub.
Now, I don't see that, Matthew. You know that.
Oh, I didn't collaborate with you yet. That's right. All right, I'll do that in a second. I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
Choose photo or video,
Choose photo or video.
and I'm gonna go ahead and put
Cancel.
an image of our dog in here.
Collect pinned. Favorites. Photo. Learn more. Live photo.
See where this is.
Date. April 2nd. Time. 9. Live photo. Date. March 30th. Time.
There's-
10:32 p.m.
That's the one, I
Actions
believe.
available. More content available. A person lying on a bed with a dog.
That's the one. Double tap,
Selected. Body.
Okay.
Text field. Is edit selected. Double tap to middle. Select.
and it's selected. I'm gonna deselect it,
Drag ID. Select all.
and I'm going to collaborate now with my mom on this document as well.
Body. More. Share. Undo. Format.
Oops, share.
Share. Button.
And it will.
Image and illustration. Letter-test.pages. Collaborate. Button.
It's already set to collaborate, so all I have to choose is my dad's name here.
Only participants can make changes. Kylie Volbrecht. Edward Volbrecht.
And there it
New
is.
iMessage. Button. Double tap for additional contact options. Can't to. Edward Red. Verta. Image. Letter test. Collaborate. Remove app from send.
And then we'll just
Button.
send it. I won't even put a
Send.
message in there this
Back
time.
button.
Take just a few seconds, and it will let me know.
Alert.
There we go.
Updating document.
And then when that's done, Mom, you
Back
should
button.
have the message.
I'm getting it. Hold on. It's downloading it.
Okay. Okay, there it goes.
Okay, got it.
All right. And now what we have done is we have this letter.
Body. Edward Volbrecht has joined.
It tells me that they've joined. Now we look here.
More. 166 points close to selection's bottom right corner. Double tap to select. Size. 4.5 inches wide. 6.0 inches tall. Position. Horizontally centered. 10.6% from top. Image.
And that's the image.
Actions available. More content available. A dog lying on a bed.
Okay. So, Mom, why don't you tell everybody where the image is right now in relationship to the text and what we might need to do with this image?
Okay. First of all, what happens when you put your image in a text that's already predetermined is the image takes over the whole document. So what it did, where Matthew had put his name at the top of the screen, at the top of the page, I'm sorry, where he had Matthew Volbrecht and his address, it literally, it didn't replace it. It just pushed everything down on the page. So now Matthew has a 2-page letter with incomplete information that was on the first page and not on the second page. Okay, so everything was moved down. So it's in the center, directly in the center, in the middle of the 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And it takes up probably more than half of the page. So do you want to go from there, Matthew, or do you want me to continue?
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, again, if you listened to what VoiceOver said, it told us the size and it told us the position. I would assume we want to make this image significantly smaller than what it is.
Right. If you were working with a template such as this, my advice would be, because it's difficult to determine where you're going to put the picture in your document, and also once it gets in there, you have to move it around so that it does fit correctly. My advice is to make your image smaller. And I think we talked about this last night, Matthew. We said either a 2x2 or a 1.7 by a.
Yeah, it was about, something like that.
Something
it was
like
maybe
that.
1.5, but yeah.
Right.
Right.
So what you're going to have to do to correct this, because everything is below the picture, because the picture takes up all the space,
Right.
you're going to have to tap on the picture to select the picture, and then you're going to have to resize it first.
That's right. So let's select this image.
Body. 166 points close.
I'll double tap.
Selected. Double tap to edit image mask.
I now have my handles, and should I use the top corner because this is near the top? So like if I use the top left resize handle, would that be good?
It does. In a case like this, your handles are on the 4 corners.
Okay.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter which one you use at all, because they're all going to proportionately move everything to a smaller size. So
All right.
if you use one of the top handles and drag it down, like at a at an angle, you'll
Right.
see, well, it should tell you that it's changing size.
So the way we do this, folks, with VoiceOver is we move the VoiceOver cursor to the resize. I'll use the upper left handle, and our rotor is already going to be set to adjust the value. Every time I swipe down, it's going to decrease. Every time I swipe up, it's going to increase. The other challenge to this is as the image starts decreasing in size, it's going to affect where it appears in relationship to the VoiceOver cursor. And so my VoiceOver cursor may have to be reoriented to the image every time I swipe down. I may not just be able to swipe. What I can do is double tap and hold and drag my finger down. The potential downside to that is if I don't keep my finger perfectly still in between as I drag it, it's not going to let me know how big it is anymore. So I'm going to show you both ways. I'm first going to find the upper left handle.
Upper middle image, upper left image handle, W, 4.5 and H, 6 and adjustable.
I'm going to swipe down one time so you can hear what happens.
Width, 4.36 inches. Height, 5.81 inches.
That barely did anything. It did a little bit, but not much. Again,
add comment.
See, now what happens is my cursor moved, so I have to find the image again by touching or swiping.
Canvas, upper left image.
There it is. There's the upper left. I swipe down.
Width, 4.22 inches.
Okay,
Height.
it is making it smaller. We went from 4.36 to 4.22, but this is going to take a while. So instead, I'm going to try double tap, hold, and drag, but it's going to be a little
upper left body.
bit of detective work here because
width,
now drag down.
Width, 3.86 inches.
I let it go after a while because I wasn't hearing the number and I didn't want to go too far. We're down to 3.86. We still need to go a ways down from that.
Okay, but Matthew, before you continue to do that, now everyone should be able to hear also, if they check their document, that Matthew Volbrecht is now at the top of the page again where it was supposed to be originally, and it's slowly bringing that text back where it belongs without you having to do anything with it.
Right.
Because the picture is the only thing that's affecting anything.
The picture is the only thing.
That's right.
So we need to make this a good bit smaller yet.
Yes, you do.
So we're going to double tap, hold, and then slide our finger down. Make sure you have enough screen real estate to do that.
Width, 2.95
All right,
inches.
we're getting there. We're at 2.95.
Upper body,
One more
upper
time of doing that should, in theory,
width, 2.50 inches.
Oh, no, we gotta go a little more
upper
yet.
Upper body.
Okay, upper left.
Image handle.
We'll do it again.
2.5 width, 2.80 inches. Upper left image handle. W, 2.8 in H. Width.
Gotta do it again.
One width.
Well, you're
Okay.
okay.
Now we're at 1.11. That might be
you're way
almost-
down at the bottom of the page also. I mean, you would have been able to take it and move it over, the other way with the way it was the last time, but that's okay.
So should I make it bigger now, or should I
Just make it a little bit bigger, Matthew.
Upper
Okay.
left image width. 1.20 canvas body more.
Okay.
Upper left width. 1.37 upper left image selected.
I'm doing it
Adult
one at a
line.
time now.
Middle, select.
Okay.
Upper middle image. Upper
Okay.
left width. 1.65.
One more time.
Body more.
One more?
And upper
Yeah.
upper width. 1.79
Okay.
inches. Height.
Now, what
Okay.
you want to do, what we want to do, because it's there, but it's not where you want it to be. In this case, because
Right.
Matthew did a lot of moving and adjusting.
Right.
You need to tap. For me, I simply have to tap and drag it where I want it to go. For you, you have to do something else to move it to the middle of the page more. Or
Well, you do sort of. You do have
Yeah.
to double tap, hold, and drag. So where is the image located right now?
right now, it's at the edge of the length of the paper.
The bottom edge or the top edge?
The bottom edge.
So we have to drag it up to the middle.
Yes.
Okay, so what we'll do, folks, is swipe to the right.
Canvas. Upper middle left hip selected. Double tap to edit image mask.
We want to be on the image itself, not one of the handles, not one of the resize handles. And I'm literally going to double tap, hold, and drag my finger up because she said it's at the bottom. Again, we're going to be doing a lot of guesswork here. You got to have a pair of eyes on this, really. VoiceOver will tell you a little but we'll just see what happens.
Right 4.1 points, up 0.5 points. Middle selected. Double
All right,
tap
how
to
much
edit.
did we do there?
Okay, now you brought it up. You brought it up from the bottom, which is good. Now, the thing of it is, from here on out, it's a question of, I don't believe you can say, I don't know if your software tells you that you can place it specifically on a page or not. Okay, I don't know if they can tell you that. In different programs like Photoshop and all that, they can tell you how you want to place it, where you want to put it. But here they don't, I don't believe. So if you just are okay with it, that it's on the paper and not perfectly centered or not perfectly on the left, or not perfectly on the right, or perfectly where you want it, you're satisfied that it's just on the page and it's visible to anybody who might be able to see that, that's fine. Okay, you don't have to be perfect about it as long as you get it on the page and it's not affecting the text that you put before it.
Right.
So you had so much space at the bottom. Now, what I'm going to do, Matthew, can I just tap on it and I'm going to just move it to the center? Okay. Matthew's is right here. Where's your location again? Just out of curiosity.
You mean, what does it say?
Where it's located. Where does it say it's located?
Well, let's see.
Middle selected. Double tap to edit image mask. Image. Actions available. Use the
I'll probably
rotor
have to
to access
deselect it
document
first.
Oh,
So-
well, no, wait. I've got an idea. Wait,
Oh.
Here's an idea. Can you just tell your formatting to center that on a page?
Well, let's see. It's selected.
Well, if you
so-
say, but remember, you have different options in your centering as well. You don't want it to center in the middle of the whole page. You want it to be centered where it's at.
Well, so with and let me explain that to everybody. With text in a text box, you can center the text within the box, or you can center the whole
Box
text
itself.
box on the page. Right. One is under the format menu, and one is actually under the
Arrange.
was it under arrange? Right.
I believe so.
I think what we want to do here is what arrange. Is that what we want to do?
Let me see if I can have, I don't know if I have my arrange. Let me see. Arrange, let's see. Horizontal. I think it's under arrange where it says distribute objects.
Right.
Okay, I just can't, I'm trying to bring my menu up here. Distribute objects. You want it to be, let's just choose the one that says evenly. See what that does.
Okay. Did you do it, or do you want me to do it?
You can do it.
All right.
Middle left
So
image
it's already
upper
selected.
button, share format.
Let's look at format
Style,
and then
button,
arrange.
Image selected. Arrange button.
Okay.
Move to backslash front. Move element backward. Move element backward and forward. Move element forward.
You don't
Text
want,
size and position.
which one did you
Heading.
just take?
Well, I
Distribute
didn't choose
object?
that. I didn't choose anything yet.
Width 1.79 inches.
We only
You
have
can
one
actually-
object, so.
Swipe
Yeah,
up
you know,
or
you can
down.
actually adjust the width and so on in here too under size and position. You can actually
Height,
adjust the
2.38
height that way
inches.
too.
Well, that's what I was going to say. In the
That's
menu, there must
interesting.
be a way that you can do that by numbers.
Folks, if you go into the arrange option under format, yeah, you can actually, that might be easier.
Width 1.79 inches. Adjustable.
See, you have value adjusters there for that. Let's go over though.
X position 4.y but constrain proportions. Switch button on. Rotate.
You
Button.
can actually even modify the X and Y position.
Rotate. Flip
You just
horizontal.
want-
Flip vertical. Align and distribute.
Align and
Heading.
distribute, right?
Yeah.
And we want
Align left.
align left,
center.
align center.
Align
Just do
center.
a line center. We don't have any other objects but one, so just try that.
Format.
Okay, let's
Style.
do,
Image.
go back to that again here a minute, 'cause I,
Align center. Align center. Align center. Align left. Align center. Align center.
when I do that, it gives me a,
Align right button. Align left.
It doesn't seem like
align
it's-
and distribute.
Maybe because you don't have more than one object.
yeah, maybe. It doesn't seem like it's going to let me pick that.
Vertical
Okay.
top
But
button.
we can vertical align center, maybe.
Try that.
Vertical align center.
That one's not going to do it either.
Vertical
What
align-
about
move with text?
move with
Switch
text
button
is on.
No, you don't want to do that.
Don't want to do that.
Automatic.
No.
Automatic text wrap,
space.
extra
Head,
space.
12
Okay.
point rotate. But rotate.
Yeah, it doesn't,
Zero.
it doesn't,
Let me see.
Button. Align center.
I'll let you try it just to see if
Let me
it
just
can-
go. Oh, now what you did was you put it in the center. What you did was you moved the text around the picture.
Oh, so it did change. It just didn't seem like it was changing, but it did.
It changed, but what you did was you put it in the middle of your text.
Okay, and
With
that's
what
not really
you
what we
chose,
want
and
to
that's not going to be right. So Do you want me to move it down?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
Because
wait a
that's what
minute.
we'd have to do is move it back
You'll
down.
have to get your formatting window handles off of there for a minute.
Okay, I'll deselect it.
Deselect all.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Okay. Let me just put this in view again. I want to have my view to fit the page because I like to see what I'm doing.
She's going under the view options and choosing fit to page because then it will display the entire page on the screen.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
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 So
All right.
my end now
Edward
is
Volbrecht
directly in
modified
the
current
center
page.
toward after your name.
Okay. All right.
Edward Volbrecht modified current page.
And you hear that it says that they modified the current page, so we're aware of that. And so you heard what some of the options are under arrange. You can vertically center. You can, move the adjuster, the value adjuster to actually change the width and height that way as well, which might be easier from a voiceover perspective than what we had to do a few minutes ago. But you can see that this is all very doable. I think that having the sighted assistance is actually critical in many cases to really making sure that you've got a proper looking document.
Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Have an additional comment or feedback? Email us info@ttjtech.biz or info@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. Or check out our websites for additional resources. That's ttjtech.biz or stiritup.com. And remember, subscribe to the newsletter when you're there. That way, you don't miss out on any upcoming announcements or events. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and see you next time.